Welcome back for another episode of Branching Out with Sierra. Today we are on episode 26, Courageous and Purpose-Driven Leadership with Jessica Gordon. I know you guys have shared with me this is your favorite guest that we've had all along back in episode 10, so I had to bring her back again with some pretty exciting updates in her life. So there's lots to unpack today, lots of courage, a lot of purpose-driven decisions going on in her life right now. And so I'm really excited to share this time with her and with you guys to give you some updates and hopefully inspire you to make some really cool choices for your leadership in your life. So welcome back, Jess.
Thank you for having me, Sierra.
Thank you for being here.
Yes.
She brought me breakfast this morning, just so you guys know, and it set me up for success in the day.
Well, yeah, we got to fuel our bodies, sis.
Yes.
We got to take care of this machine.
Yes.
We're asking it to do a lot of work today.
We are.
We got to dig in.
We are. Okay, so I don't want to reveal what the news is. It has to come out of your mouth, not mine. So obviously, you have something that you need to share with the world.
Yes.
And it was a very big decision for you. And so today I really want to talk about how you came to that decision and what things might look like right now for you in your life, maybe the challenges that came along with this decision. So I'll let you start us off today with some updates from your life.
Oh, well, thanks. So if you did listen to the previous episode, then you would be fully aware that I worked a full-time job as an insurance agent at TWG Insurance, who I love dearly. And then I was also running my business, 540 Fitness, on the other side of that. And it was challenging, but I was taking it in stride, and I was like really proud of it. Like, I was really proud of the fact that I was burning the candle on every end and was, a boss. I was a manager over here, and then I was an owner over here, and I was really doing all the things. And turns out that even if you really think that you should be doing all of the things, that maybe you shouldn't. And I actually resigned. I stepped down from my job at TWG Insurance with, grace and with love for them. And, they understand my journey. I got a lot of really nice messages, especially one special one from one Mr. Mark Kelly, and a lot of love from them. But I now get to be the full-time athlete success manager at 540 Fitness, which is so exciting. I mean, it really, I was telling you earlier, like the second I made the decision, it was just like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. And although I also texted you like immediately after, because I was like, hi, I'm also terrified. So can we talk? And you were, of course, away. And I was waiting for you to get back so that we could talk about it. So really, everyone's just going to have to listen to me hash through this, because I'm really happy and really excited to be a business owner and, to have this opportunity to chase after my passion and something that I love and something that I care about. But I'm also like low-key pooping my pants. Is that okay?
That's the first of many really big laughs today. Yes. And that's what I love about our conversations together, is that we are very transparent with one another. And so if you feel like you're going to poop your pants, you will come and you will open up to me, and I appreciate that. Yes, it will all be okay. Congratulations. I'm going to speak on behalf of all listeners. We are so proud of you. What a big decision. I'm trying not to cry as I'm saying it. Why do you bring such emotion?
Because we're very vulnerable people when we're together. We mean it.
We do. We do. I'm so freaking proud of you. One, I heard you say, yes, you're the owner, but you chose a different title. So let's talk about that. Yeah. Can you repeat the title?
Yes, I'm the athlete success manager.
Okay.
I did not want to be, I am the owner. My husband and I are both owners. My husband, Jared Gordon, and I own the gym together, and very much 50-50 effort. We both have different skill sets, though, which I think is what makes us great. And we both have a different thing that we're really good at. He does all the programming, which he is just savant. He is a beautifully written programming, making sure that people stay safe and healthy and wonderful. And I don't do that. I like to think what I want my role to develop into is as the athlete success manager is exactly that. I want to set people up for success because no one really knows what to do. And, we talked a lot about, setting SMART goals and how to set these goals. And I want to be able to give my members, my friends, these tools to be like, hey, you want to get a pull-up? Well, there's about 83 things that you have to do before you get that pull-up. And I don't want you to be overwhelmed by that. I want to work with you on that. I want to walk you through it. If you're feeling frustrated or upset or concerned about your health journey, you have a person in your corner who's here, who has been there, who cares about you, and who has all the tools necessary to help you. And I think that accountability, that friendship, that trust is really what I want my role to be in this job. And Jared's going to do the finances. And I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole because he does the numbers. He was a math teacher prior. So anyway, he does all that. And then I just want to be, we said last time, he's the head and I'm the heart.
Yes.
I'm really just leaning into that. I really want to lean into being the heart of, because I care about it. It changed my life in so many ways, as we spoke about last time.
Yeah.
And I just see the way it changes other people's lives. And I'm like, oh my, nothing lights me up more. I mean, nothing gives me more fire than that.
Okay, so I'm just going to say, if someone is listening to this and has not listened to episode 10, I am going to instruct you to stop where you are and go back and listen to episode 10 and get some context, because I think of a lot of today's conversation, it would be great if they understood your journey to where you are and where this passion comes from, and you saying that you've been there before, because we did talk about this right before the episode too, that sometimes people look at someone else's fitness journey and say, well, they were kind of born that way. It was easier for them to get to this place. It was not easy for you to get where you are.
It was real ugly.
So you've lived it.
Yeah.
And so it's and I think that makes it very authentic as well. So anyway, that's exciting. Let's jump back over to TWG.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We love them.
Oh my God, yes.
We love them so much. And everybody saw this but you.
I've been told.
So you had said to me that, both were a part of your identity, and you couldn't imagine a life without one of those pieces because a part of you would be missing. And when you said that, you meant it. And it was so true in that moment. How in the world, how long ago did we record that episode, by the way?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not
That
sure.
was episode 10. We're on 26, 16 weeks ago. There you go.
Wow.
We're great at math.
I made a lot of choices in 16 weeks.
You did.
I did.
You did. Okay, so let's talk about what that looked like for you.
Right. And I think that there also is a part of it where a lot of times people will, I don't want to say I was lying to myself because I really thought I was telling the truth.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie.
I know you did.
I did. I really thought everyone else knew. And everyone else even when I texted you, Sierra was like, I knew. And I was like, oh, well, why didn't anyone tell me? And she's like, I did. And I'm like, oh, well, I wasn't listening. So,
next time, tell me to listen.
Yeah, next time, make sure I'm listening. Because I just thought like I said, I thought I had it all under control.
You wouldn't have heard it.
I wouldn't have.
Obviously, I said it. I brought it up once. You didn't hear it because you weren't ready for it yet.
I was not. But I think that the point, you don't have to hate something or dislike it or be bad at it. I was never bad at my job. I never hated it or disliked it. My job at TWG, it just, I was trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. And I was making it work because that's what I do. I make it work. If I have to make it work, I make it work. And then it was almost like an epiphany to be like, I don't have to make it work.
Yeah.
I have this thing. And part of what hit me was Jared and I were having a conversation that we needed some extra help at the gym. We kind of needed a manager. We kind of needed someone to do specific jobs. And we looked at actually outsourcing a manager, hiring a manager to do the job at the gym that I own while I went and worked 8 hours a day watering someone else's baby.
That is so
I don't know anything about rearing children. You water children, whatever you do with them. You watering someone else's baby, I don't know. But while I was over here, that is
growing that business for them
which is great.
Which is awesome.
Right. And I was happy to be a part of it. Meanwhile, I would have had to hire somebody else over here to water my baby. And I was like, I need to take care of my own child.
Yeah.
And it was like, because no one was going to love it like I did.
Mm-hmm.
No matter, and honestly, we would have been setting that person up for failure.
Oh, yeah.
Because no matter what they did, and this is just because I love it so much, it would have never been good enough.
Mm-hmm.
They would have never worked hard enough. They would have never done it right.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it would have always been, I would have been like, I could love it better.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to stop and be like, okay, if part of your heart is always going to be over there, I don't think you should ever halfway do anything.
There was the pause. Halfway do anything.
Yeah.
Good
I
job.
almost said the butt word, but I didn't. And but you should never if and that's exactly what I was doing. 540 Fitness wasn't getting my best, and TWG Insurance wasn't getting my best because there was only so much of my person to go around, and no one was getting 100% of me. And I don't like doing that. I'm 100% in or out kind of gal, and I thought I had 200% of a person.
Yeah.
Where I could give 100% over here and I could give 100% over here. I'm really bad at math. Is really the problem here. Is I thought that I had more than I thought that I had more to give, and I couldn't. So anyway, long story long, I just knew that it was my job, and I knew it in my heart. And I talked to my husband, and I said, can I do this full time? And he basically right there calls our accountant, Jake, who's the nicest human ever, and goes, "Hey, Jake, can Jess quit her job?" And he's like, "Oh, 1 second." And he's like, "Well, I guess." and then it was, pretty instant. So yeah, all the love in the world for my friends over at TWG, but I need to go tend to my garden.
Mm-hmm. And I know they're so proud of you for making that decision too. And, I've already heard it. Well, we joked because, Mark filled me in. He was like, "I'm sure you already know, but."
Mark. Love that guy.
I wonder if he's listening.
I hope he is.
In the gym right now, actually.
The best.
We were making fun of you earlier, Mark.
Yes. Yeah. Listen to us at the gym
Yeah.
while he's pumping iron.
Yeah. Okay. Courage.
Yeah.
It took a lot of that. It's going to take a lot of that. It's not past tense.
I'm going to need more?
You need more.
Oh, God.
Where are you going to find it?
Oh, no.
It's all in there.
I thought I did it already. No, I'm just kidding. I know. It does take more. Well, and that's why as soon as I pulled the trigger and said the things, I knew I needed to talk to you because I'm sitting in your building with Sierra leadership on it. This is your baby. So you stopped doing what you were doing to water your baby. Mm-hmm. And I had to talk to you.
It takes a lot of water, by the way.
Yeah, it takes a lot of water. So and it took a lot of courage for you. So tell the people how you got here, because I think it's important to know.
Well, I had no idea what I was doing. Imagine that.
It seems like it.
Yeah, I think that was the scary thing because my whole life I've kind of just been book smart. I'm not going to lie. I feel like the common sense side of things, my family will tell me, I lack that sometimes. I love learning things. I love regurgitating things. That's cool, right? That's that C side of me. Like I love the analysis of things. But I came into this knowing nothing about business. That wasn't my world. My world was education. I knew how to educate humans.
Right, because you were a teacher.
Yeah. But I did not know how to run a business. So the first thing I did was I joined the chamber because I was lost. And I thought that would be super helpful to be surrounded by other people who had done the thing.
Wait, sorry. You joined the chamber before you started...
No.
Oh, I was saying, I don't think you can do that, Sierra.
As soon as I started the business. That was like move number 1. But you want the literal journey from...
Oh, no. I want to know what made you want to change? Like, how did you go from this to, or that to this?
So that was literally the bed rest, laying there thinking... If I am to continue the path that I'm on today, I'm going to run myself into the ground and I might not bounce back from this because I I was all or nothing, over the top, no children of my own. These children at school are my kids, so I'm going to stay at school until 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and I'm going to drive home and, spend an hour and a half on the road and go back and do it again, and I'm going to work on weekends, and I have to give these kids my all.
God bless the teacher. Let's hear it for the teachers. Oh, God.
And then, knowing that the next step was to move into principalship. And if I did that, I could have a much greater impact on more kids beyond one classroom, right? So it made sense to me to do that. But now I didn't just have the pressure of one class and those parents, but I'd have to answer to an entire community. And that would have been a lot of pressure on me, right? Yeah. And so I think there was a little bit of that realization when truly the doctors said to me, this was my second bout with Lyme. So that was, at that point, the first bed rest was 6 months. The second one, it ended up being 8 months. And I'm not sure how far into the bed rest I made the decision. I would have to go back and look.
Right.
But when they told me that there was a chance that if I continued the current stress levels that I would not get better, that...
So you opened up your own business to have less stress?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember the common sense thing?
Yeah, okay. I was just checking. I just didn't know if that...
Yeah.
Because I'm really stressed out, so I'm just curious how this works.
Let me explain.
Are you less stressed? Or is it different?
I knew that...
Because you're in control.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get there.
No, you're right. I am in control.
There.
I am in control. I didn't know that I could get paid for the skill set that I had, if that made sense. If I was leaving education.
That one.
Yes. Can I take what I've been doing and find a way to do it with greater flexibility and control of my schedule? And get paid enough to pay my own bills, right? Keep a roof over my head. I feel like you were wondering the same thing.
Yes, because isn't that the dream? Mm-hmm. Just imagine with me a world where everyone finds, because everyone has a thing.
Yeah.
Yes, your thing is not my thing, and my thing is not your thing. Our thing is nobody else's thing, but we
say that 10 times fast.
I can't say. I barely said it once. Imagine if everyone had the courage to find their thing and to do it and go into it 100%. Yeah. Burn the ships. Mm-hmm. Go for it. And then
okay, you can't say burn the ships and not
I will
share
run the story
it.
back.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But actually, because you have that's the thing, right? Is you have to go for it. Mm-hmm. You cannot halfway do what if you halfway did this and you were teaching and doing this, what would have happened?
Oh, yeah. One of them would have to go.
Yeah.
Obviously. Because I can do math.
Because math is really hard. Yes.
That's my strength.
Yes. Yeah, you can do math.
I can do math. I just interviewed someone for one of my clients yesterday. And she has been in marketing for 10 years. And she is taking a leap into interior design.
Good for her.
And, when my interviews don't look like typical interviews, let me just say that. All pressure taken off. It's just a conversation, right? And she was sharing with me that her fear was she'd spend the rest of her life wondering what it would have been like.
Yes. Isn't that the thing? It's the thing of regret to be because that was what played in my head when I was making my decision, is I was okay, say I don't ever give 100% of myself to this thing that I love and that I have a passion for and that I have a skill set for. When you said skill set, that's everyone has their own special skill set. This is mine.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to hone it. It took me a while to develop it. I had to work on it. I was not born with it. I mean, certain parts I guess I was, but you have to hone it. You have to develop it.
Yeah.
But I would not want to look back 10 years from now and be what if I would have given my all to that? Because I think that would be the hardest regret to swallow, to be like, what if I would have given everything I had to make that work in the way that I want it to? And you never get that time back, man. You never get it back.
I wish that everyone would take that leap of faith that we're talking about, because I see it all the time where someone is literally going through the motions and feel like they have to do what they're doing today because of the financial piece and that piece only. Otherwise, they know exactly where they'd be and what they'd be doing. Mm-hmm. And to be able to have a conversation that helps people to understand, oh, and this is like a thing too. You can literally get paid to do anything these days. So don't make the excuse of, will someone pay me to do the thing that I'm actually really good at? Yeah. If it doesn't exist, create the service.
If you're really good at shopping, I hate shopping, I will pay someone to shop for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anything.
Anything.
If you have a passion and I think that's what is most important. Like, if you're passionate about insurance, do insurance. Like, there needs to be, and I have met people who are passionate about insurance. I work with them. If you want people that are passionate about insurance, go to TWG Insurance. Those people love insurance. Yeah. And I think that that's beautiful and that's wonderful, and they are living in their passion. That wasn't mine. Yeah. So I had to take a step away to do that thing. But yeah, like anything. It's amazing.
The difference between you and I is you had the courage to take the leap without really being forced to do it. I was kind of forced, Jess.
By your, state of health?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, because, I could have taken a job somewhere else that was, quote unquote, less stressful than being an educator. But again, I wouldn't be tapping into my strengths in the way I thought I could. So I felt I needed to create something to be able to do it in my own way. Right. I also, going back to the control issues, I wanted to do it my own way.
I wouldn't call them control issues.
Yeah, that's what they are.
I would say you have a control strength. Your strength of control is really good. But no, and I think but it's interesting though that you said that most people would think that going to a 9-to-5 is less stressful than owning a business. And in some ways, I guess it is, right?
I'd say the only part that's less stressful in a 9-to-5 is the guaranteed income.
Sure. Right.
That's it.
Everything else.
I would say everything else, you have the freedom to create the vision for yourself, and it's up to you to take the steps to get there. You can't blame it on anyone else if you don't get there.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's you. Yes, it's a lot of pressure, but I like pressure.
Yeah. Pressure makes diamonds.
Yes. It forces me outside of my comfort zone. The pressure of someone saying, you should do a podcast. Do you think,
Happy
Jess,
pressure.
Do you think I would have ever just randomly said, I think I should do a podcast? I'm just telling you, I wouldn't have said that.
I know you wouldn't have. No.
But that pressure from my health situation caused the switch, yes. But I could play victim and feel sorry for myself that I was having to leave behind my master's in education, 10 years of experience. I was just going through the program to get my certification to move into principalship. Literally just ready to move, right?
But did you really leave it behind?
That is what I learned. I think for the first year of my business, I was still very torn.
Okay.
I missed my kids. I'm going to cry.
Yeah, of course you missed your kids. You're a heartfelt person. Of course you
when
missed
all
those
the
babies.
Teachers were going
you had to
back
water
to
those
school.
babies.
Yes. Maybe that was the problem.
No one was watering your babies. I don't have kids. Anyone out there listening to this, I don't worry about it. You don't have to call CPS. They're fine. I don't have children.
When all the other teachers were going back to school, I was really sad.
Did you have FOMO?
Oh my gosh, I didn't get to go decorate my classroom, pick my theme for the year.
How did you get unsad though? What made you not go back? What made you lean this way instead of back that way? Because you could have went back, right?
Yeah, I could have gone back. My first client success.
Oh, right.
And seeing someone actually say I couldn't have done this without you.
Oh, that'll make me cry.
Thank you for helping me grow.
Isn't that the best feeling?
Yeah.
And like,
so that is the thing that, okay, I can do this. Like, I can have an impact on someone outside of a child in a classroom.
Right. Well, and also so real quick to double back. So you were working long days as a teacher. You were doing all the things, and you were exhausted in your body, and it was causing health issues for you.
Yeah. Well, that paired with the Lyme disease causing the issues, right?
Yeah,
so
it was
immune system was suppressed. So yeah,
it was making it harder though.
Yeah.
So what do you think the difference is? Because I know you work really hard now. You just came back from a beautiful, wonderful retreat that we'll talk about and make sure that, because I think that's a wonderful thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that it was without hours of hard work. And you seem happy and healthy and vibrant. Every time I talk to you, you have a ton of energy. And so do you think that the work is different when it's your work and not working for somebody else?
I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
I think you did. I don't work any less.
You probably work more.
I think I probably do.
Yeah.
And I think it takes that in the beginning, but I am seeing that my calendar for next year is set. Like, I know what's happening there. And every hour is accounted for. And I know, though.
I love you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we're different.
Very.
But I say that to say I know that I've finally built it to a point where I can just breathe a little and maintain.
Yeah.
I kept telling myself, hopefully one day I'll reach a point where I don't have to work as hard in the business, where I can just maintain and actually enjoy a little bit more of it and have life outside of the business.
Yeah.
But then again, I am my brand, so I am constantly, no matter where I am and what I'm doing, I'm thinking about it. Of course, I'm thinking about it. But when I think about it, it's full of opportunity. When I thought about education, everything that I wanted to do, I was being held back because there are rules.
Yep.
Did you know there are lots of rules?
There's a lot of rules. Did you know how many rules there are in insurance?
Oh, yeah.
Girlfriend, there's a lot of rules. There's a lot of red tape. Yes, and it stresses. And I think you hit on it too, where when I talk about the work that I had to do in insurance, it was there and I knew I had to do it, and it looked more like a challenge. Where when I think about the work that I have to do at 5:40 and I get to do in the gym, it's an opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, it feels, I get excited by it. The rules have really changed where I'm working hard. I'm over here, and I mean, no matter where I go, I am also, my name is not on the building. I wish it was. We're going to really change it. No, I'm just kidding. But I know that, like, I never stop being that person. It's not a 9 to 5. I don't shut my laptop at the end of the day and say, okay, I'm done. I don't get to wash my hands of it. And it's not always like that. I'm not always energized by it, but 99% of the time, the opportunity of it and the fact that I'm in control of the opportunity is really what makes me excited, because I know nobody's holding me back.
You're exactly right. That's what it comes down to, because it brings you energy, right? Instead of constantly feeling held back in the other situation, right? I felt like I was capable of a lot more before, and I was giving more time, and that was like the more for me, right? But I couldn't make the changes in education that I wanted to make.
Right.
I wanted to change the whole system, and I told myself, like, I could spend my whole life on this, and I don't think I can change the educational system, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just don't.
Yeah, God bless teachers. Again, God bless you guys.
But this I can control, and just like you, my client's success is my success, right? I am so bought into everything that they are doing and their passion, and I'm cheering them on, and that gives me energy too.
Yeah.
So I'm not just running off of my own energy like I was before. Like, I'm running off of, hey, I accomplished this goal, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
We did that together.
Yes. And it feels so like it's where you're supposed to be. Purpose. So how did you know So you knew that teaching was kind of given, it was too much red tape. It was too much going on. So how did you know what your calling was? Did it just feel good to you? Like, did you know someone who did it, or did
Larry Moss told me.
Larry, I love Larry.
Larry boy.
I love Larry. So yeah, and he told you what to do. That's nice. And you listened to him? Does that ever work? Can we pull Matt? No,
I think I still have the email that he sent me. Yeah, he opened my eyes to the possibility that I could do what I was doing before, which was growing humans, right? In a different
just bigger
way.
Ones. Mm-hmm. We're all toddlers.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm a toddler.
Yeah.
For sure. I have no idea what I'm doing.
But he exposed me to John Maxwell's certification program. Let's go back to, I like being book smart. I like studying and learning. I like the certifications to back me up. I wanted to go about it the right way. If I was going to do this, I wasn't just going to wake up tomorrow and say,
I'm a life coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was tired of laying in bed and having someone take care of me. And I had to feel like every day served a purpose. And I basically said to myself, I could choose to use the rest of the bed rest feeling sorry for myself and then figure it out when I can walk again and do things again, right? Or I could try this thing and see how it feels. And so I just started learning every day. I just tried it.
Man.
And it was super empowering. It felt right from the beginning. I looked forward to opening the laptop, laying in bed, opening the laptop and learning something new that day. I mentioned earlier, it took me about a year to figure out that I hadn't thrown everything away. I still at that point was battling every single day with, but how does this connect to what I was doing before? I will have no credibility. No credibility whatsoever. Like, they're going to wonder, how can she say that she knows anything about leadership development when all she's been doing is teaching?
Girlfriend, I'm an insurance agent teaching people how to bench press. Say more. I mean, come on.
Right?
They're like, who is this girl? But yeah. So you have to educate yourself in your field, of course. But you still have others. I won't steal what you're going. Keep going.
Well,
I just get excited.
I had told myself for so long that I was just a teacher. That is a message I told myself every day, and I used to get so mad at myself because I could see like other people I graduated with like become a doctor, become like this, that, and the other, right? And for some reason in my mind, I was so much like lesser than, and I would say I'm just a teacher. And when John Maxwell, in one of the first sessions that I was in on, said, leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. And I understood that I had influenced kids' lives every single day, and I had been a leader.
Yeah.
It just immediately transformed like my thought process. And I thought, well, then how can I use what I was doing to make me better at this?
Yeah.
And so I leaned into I used to develop curriculum. Okay. So I never thought that it was great to teach from one curriculum out of one book. I would pull from the best of the best, all these resources, and I would say, I want to teach this. What is the best way to get my students there? Right? So I was doing the same thing, but I was just doing it with different content.
You're still a teacher.
Yeah.
You are still a teacher.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different type of teacher. But
and I still use 1, 2, 3 eyes on me.
As you should.
I still raise my hand when they won't be quiet.
You're still, it's just a different type of
is.
teacher. So, like, it's not like you were so far lost in your lane. Like, you were not over here being a teacher when you were supposed to be over here being an astronaut. Like, you were in the right vein.
Yes.
And I think, that's a big thing for a lot of people, where a lot of people, like, because most people don't, you hope, wake up being like, oh my God, I hate this job so much, I want to die.
Yeah.
Like, you hope that there's something in that daily job that does kind of light them up a little bit. But maybe, if there's a bit of frustration there, maybe they're just a tiny bit off course. Maybe they're just 2 notches away from where they really shine and where they should really light up. Like, for me, I was doing insurance because I loved working with people and I loved helping people and I loved customer service. I love it when people come to me with a problem and they're like, and I'm like, hey, let me solve that.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me happier than solving people's problems. And then they look at me and they're like, oh my God, I had this really big problem and now it's no longer a problem. You're the best. And I'm like, thank you. That's all I want for my whole life. Turns out I'm supposed to be doing that. That is my gift. That is my purpose. That is my purpose, is to help people with their problems. It just so happens that it's actually health and fitness and not home, auto, and umbrella.
Yes.
And who knew? I was just a couple ticks. And so everything that I learned at TWG, I'm taking with me. I know how to talk to people.
You know this so much earlier than I did.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Do you know why that is?
Why?
You didn't have a Sierra. I have a Sierra. You should. Yeah. So sorry. I'm sorry you had to muddle through by yourself. But
no, I think that's awesome that you realize that already, because I wasted a lot of time with that battle of, is this the right move? Because the money wasn't coming in right away, girl.
Tell me about it. That's what they don't tell you too, is that you just watch the money go out the door and you don't see any of it come back for a long time. And it is horrifying.
Yes.
Horrifying. And I know that I have a luxury. Like, I don't have children. My husband is successful with what he does with programming. So I know that I do have this luxury that other people don't, where, hey, they're listening to this and they're going, well, too bad. I have to work my job. What would you say to those people?
Oh my gosh, the have tos.
Yeah. What would you say to the have tos? Like, you don't understand me. I have to do this job because I have to bring in X, Y, and Z. What would you say to those people?
Well, I would have them sit down and really look at their purpose, number one, which is a huge piece of this, and we'll go back to that in a minute. But I would share that there are plenty of people that can kind of explore their purpose and figure out the thing on the side while still bringing in the revenue and feeling comfortable and knowing that they have that reassurance of that weekly, bi-weekly, whatever it is, paycheck, right?
I did not do this full time at first.
Yes, exactly.
I did this. I hustled. And it was hard. But I hustled. Yes, that's exactly right.
It doesn't have to be all or nothing. You don't have to make the leap like I made the leap, where I literally didn't know where the next penny was coming from.
Right.
Not totally brilliant, but anyway, you can build one while doing the other. Experiment with it. See if it feels right. Make it your own. And then as you see what revenue that could generate, it should lift some of that weight off of your shoulders. And then at some point, you have to take the leap.
Yes.
Because that pressure of you just have to make it work is what will make it work.
Right. And that's when you don't give yourself another choice too. Because we'll go back to the burn the ships now. I have a tattoo on my arm that I got, honestly, when I was, recovering from a lot of things in my life. And I decided to make a change in myself, and it had nothing to do with my business. It had nothing to do with anything except my own internal demons. And I had decided that I was going to change myself. And the only way to do that was to forget the person that I was before. Not forget's not the word I want, was to leave behind that person. I still remember her and I still love her, and she did her best for survival.
Yeah.
But she did not have a place in this new chapter. And I knew that. So I heard this story about this explorer, Cortez, who landed in Mexico. And then when he landed there, he instructed his people to burn the ships because they had no choice. They were either going to conquer that land or they were going to die trying, but they were not going to go back home.
Yeah.
And I said, ooh, I said that level of commitment.
Yes.
Because that's how you have to do it.
That's what it takes.
Because if you give yourself an out, if you have an out, and I'm not saying be stupid, and I'm not saying be reckless. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. Like, I'm not saying go out there and, like, to heck with everything, do whatever you want to do. No, educate yourself.
Yeah.
Work on it. Do the smart things. But then when it's time to jump, you gotta jump. It's heavy. Like, and you have to fully commit yourself to it, because you can't halfway do it, because it won't grow.
I would say that while it's in its early stages, consider what it needs to look like for it to be the time to make the jump. Because I could see people just keep pushing it back, saying it's not time yet. It's just not the right time. I'm not there yet. I need more time. So decide now, what is it? It has to show me that I can generate blank amount of revenue in this period of time. It has to get me this many clients. It has to whatever, right? Figure out what that thing is and promise yourself that when you get there, you're going to take the leap.
Yes. And do it afraid. You can be afraid. You don't have to be like brazen and bold. Like, you don't have to. I did it afraid.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I was terrified.
I'm still afraid.
I'm afraid right now. I'm really scared. Can we talk? But yeah, I mean, and that's okay. Like, it's kind of healty. If you're not afraid, honestly, I think you're probably a little crazy, and you're probably a little narcissistic, and you probably have some issues that we should probably talk to a therapist about. If you're not afraid, you probably have some issues, but I think it's a healthy fear. And I think that fear is also what drives us to be successful.
Yeah.
Because I'm terrified. So I'm going to do everything I can to make this work. But then on the flip side, it doesn't feel like work. So I'm over here hustling day and night trying to get this done, but I'm having the time of my life. And you get, and not every day. Okay, yeah, some parts I love more than others, but for the most part, when you're working in your purpose, then you're doing the things. So if I'm a person listening to this and I say, okay, that sounds cool, Sierra, how do I find my purpose? Sierra, how do I find my purpose? I mean, we were lucky. I think we kind of fell into, happy accidents along the way.
Yeah.
We kind of both of us kind of came from like some trials and some tribulations. Yeah. So say you want to not do that. Say you want to not.
You want to skip all that.
Why would you want to skip the trauma? The trauma's what makes us funny.
That?
No, say you want to skip
like scars.
Yes, well, we are riddled. So say you want to skip the trauma and you want to do it the easy way. How would you advise someone find their purpose?
Okay. It is not easy, by the way. This isn't you sit down and go through this exercise and 10 minutes later you have a purpose for your life. This takes a lot of time and reflection.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. well, the problem with that is, Jess, so many people. You're funny. So many people.
I think I'm funny.
You are
That's
funny.
The problem.
Make sure you use that laugh in the
was it
B-roll.
good?
It was a good one.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see down your throat.
Okay.
You distracted me.
We're finding our purpose.
Okay, yes.
If I wanted to find my purpose, what would I do,
If you wanted
Sierra?
to find your purpose, I was going to say that a lot of people go into it thinking that they have to walk away with a purpose statement quickly, and they don't slow down enough in their life to give it the time it deserves. So they're just going through the motions. They're in the hamster wheel, right? And they say, I don't have time to reflect on that. I don't have time to figure out my purpose, whatever, right? You do have time, because it's what you're going to spend the rest of your life doing. So if you don't make time for it,
it's only your life.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah,
it's only your life.
Actually, can we put that on pause for a second? Because I'm going to tell you something really weird about myself.
Oh, I can't wait.
So you know how everything's like measurable for me?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay. When I was laying on bed rest, I was literally, you know how we don't know how many days we have left?
Yeah.
I was always thinking, I was visualizing almost like this calendar, right? And each day that passed in my mind, I was putting an X on it because I was one day closer to the end of my life. And it drove me crazy that I would be putting an X on that, and I didn't know where the end was, but I knew I was one day closer.
To whatever day
yeah,
that is.
and if I hadn't used that day intentionally, then I felt like I just wasted one.
And it's and that honestly, that's kind of what it is, to be honest, because it's so easy to get caught up on the hamster wheel and to just go through the motions. And like, I know, don't hear me wrong, everyone's out there doing their best, and I hear that and I feel that in my soul.
Yeah.
But are you really serving yourself by doing what you perceive right now as your best?
Yeah.
And are you doing the best for you? Are you doing the best for everyone else around you?
Yes.
Are you doing the best for everyone else? Oh, I'm sorry, but this is your life.
Yes.
It is yours. At the end of that calendar, at the end of that magic calendar, guess who's the one who goes?
Yeah.
It's you. Like it, and you don't want to look back and be like, oh my God, where did it go? What happened? And I also have a very like real sense of end of life, and you know, not to make it morbid, but like I have a very real sense, you know, due to my past and everything, that hey, we only get to do this once.
Yeah.
And right now, it's happening. Life is happening at this moment. It's not happening. It's not what you plan for later.
Yeah.
It's not something that, oh, okay, well, maybe one day I'll get to do this. One day might not happen. So if you don't go 100% into the deep end right now and burn those ships, guess what? You might not get another chance. And I did not want to look back on my life and be like, oh my God, what if? You know?
You're exactly right. Okay. So, great aside, imaginary calendar. Anyway, I take people through a very specific exercise. There are lots of versions out there. You can literally Google, find my purpose, and it will give you all sorts of ideas of things you can reflect on to help you arrive at it. Of
Your
course.
Google voice is very patronizing. She is rude. Find my purpose. No, Google's not that bad.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, there's better tools. There's better tools, is what, yeah.
I believe Sierra's feeling here is that your purpose is really the intersection of three specific things.
Okay.
I'm bumping the mic.
Okay.
Three specific things. Number one, I encourage everyone to draw a little Venn diagram where the three circles overlap. Okay? Okay?
I'm familiar.
Yeah. Or you could do like a 3-column chart. I don't care, but first way is better.
I love you. I'm not telling you which one's right and which one's wrong, but this one's right and the other one's wrong. So, okay, bye. Good.
That sounded like my Google voice.
It was the Google voice. So we draw a Venn diagram.
First one is make a list of all the things in your life that bring you joy.
Oh, that would be a beautiful list, wouldn't it? That's really nice. People should do this at home.
Everything that brings you joy.
A Venn diagram is this one. The one with the circles.
With the circles that overlap.
And like, yeah. It's that one.
Yeah, but there are 3 of them. So you're going to have 2 up here and then 1 down here.
Oh, okay.
You see what
Pretend
I'm saying?
I have 3 hands.
Yeah.
And there's another one up here.
Exactly.
That's exactly what a Venn diagram looks like. Perfect.
There is video recording of this.
So no, they need to know. That's important information. So you draw your Venn diagram.
Dying.
And in one,
yes,
you put all the things that make you happy.
Yeah, all the
love
things
that
that
one.
bring you joy. And I mean everything. Like if it's pizza, I want
Write
you
that
to
one
write
in yellow.
pizza because, oh my gosh,
Yellow is
there's
happy.
beyond finding your purpose, that exercise right there.
It's,
I love going back to that list and thinking about like, what can I do today from the list?
right. That brings you joy. That's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
like I want to make those things a part of my life regularly.
Okay. So everything that makes you happy.
Number 2, all of your strengths. Where's your skill set? We said skill set earlier.
Yes.
What are all your strengths?
What am I good at? Okay.
And sometimes people really have trouble with that one. And it makes me so angry.
It makes you mad. It makes me sad.
Okay, well, it makes me angry.
Oh, good.
Because I will be on a call with the most beautiful human, right?
Right.
And I'll say, okay, let's go through. What are your strengths? And they'll like pause and they'll maybe say 1 or 2 things. And I'm like, do not make me sit here and tell you all the amazing things about you. You know these things. Come on, man.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's fair. Well, people have a hard time, but yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, all of those strengths.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe ask some other people, by the way,
What your
they
strengths
think
are?
your strengths
That's
are.
cool.
Yeah, I think that would
That's
be
a good
helpful.
idea.
Number 3 is this. There's a slash in this one. You can do two different things. Okay.
Okay.
What impact you want to have on the world,
Ooh, that's deep.
or
Mm-hmm.
what you want to be remembered for. So it depends on, like, are you going for the, like, morbid side of I get to the end of my life and everybody's talking about me at my funeral. What are they saying?
Yeah.
What are they going to remember me for?
Jessica was
an amazing friend, the best cheerleader.
There's some other explicits I think people would use that I can't use on camera, but yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that, or this is the impact I want to have on one other human, on, you know, my friends,
my community,
the United States,
my family,
the world
domination.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Got it.
So those are the 3 things. And the reason I say that the Venn diagram is the best is because I truly believe your purpose lies at the intersection of those 3 things. So what I have people do, if they didn't do the Venn diagram, with the columns, you know, pretty highlighters, let's get some colors, we're going to look for the overlap. What are the things in which I love and I'm good at them, and they could have this impact on the world?
Do you know what's really exciting?
What?
I think I'm living in my purpose.
You are!
I love it, and I'm really excited about it, and it makes it, oh God, this is great. I just did the exercise in my head.
Okay, great.
Yeah, oh,
but can you demonstrate it? Because I think that would be helpful. So what was what overlap was in yours?
Yes, yeah. So what I love is fitness and nutrition and moving my body and health, and also a lot of other things. The list of things that I love is honestly very long. I love a lot of things. But those are my overlappers. And
keep going.
Yes. And then the things that I'm good at actually happen to be fitness. I happen to be okay at it. And communication. And also, I put in my things that I'm good at is loving people. I do think I have, and not to like, but I'm bad at a lot of things. If you ask for another Venn diagram of what I'm bad at, I will also fill that out to fruition. Don't you worry. But
not happening.
But I am good at loving people. Like, and I think I'm good at it because I enjoy it. Like, I enjoy finding a person and deciding how they need to be loved and loving them in that way. So I'm good at health. I'm good at fitness. I'm good at loving people. I'm pretty good at communication. And then the impact that I want to make on the world is I want to make people healthier. I do, like as a blanket statement. I want people. I had a member of mine message me with so much excitement because she went to go get her labs done, and her labs were so much better than they were than when she started at the gym. I added not me. I didn't mean that, but like the gym and the community and the purpose, and what makes me happy though. Hopefully. I hope, I pray years to this person's life.
She said hope.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I hope, I really do. And like, that's.
It did. You added years to someone's life. I'm going to say you did because I'm doing that.
Well, thank you. But that's the impact that I want. I want people to come to me and say, hey, I don't know what to do. The whole health and fitness thing is really confusing for me. There's a lot of information out there. I don't know where to turn. I just want to be healthy, and I want to be able to play with my kids, and I want to be able to run with my grandkids. Can you help me? And I'm going to say, yes.
You added more boxes to their calendar.
Yes, I want the calendar to keep going.
Yes.
I do, because I mean, I know how fragile this life is. I have seen it firsthand. I know how fragile this life is, and to have more days. What else? What else could we want besides more days? More days to love people, more days to find our purpose, more days to live in our purpose. And that's all I want. And, you know, because I know some beautiful souls that go to 540 Fitness, and I want them to have more days because I love them and they deserve more days.
And they are blessed to have you.
I hope they feel that way.
Because you're living in your purpose, you are better able to support them and give them what they need, right? Yeah. The people who are in a position, in a role that is not in alignment with their purpose, they're doing it for whatever reason they're doing it, right? Financially, whatever it may be, okay? but they're not able to have as great of an impact on the world because it's not the thing they're passionate about. So they're never going to come in with the Jess Gordon energy
Right.
that is necessary in having the level of impact that they could have on someone else's life.
Have you ever met someone who's like really like, besides you and me, that is like really like living in their purpose?
Oh, yeah.
And they glow differently.
Oh, yeah.
Do they not?
Yeah.
Like you meet them, and I've just met people where, and one of the people that comes to mind is the nurse that I met at the hospital when Joe passed, right? That woman was living in her purpose.
Awesome.
She was an absolute angel sent from heaven. And I do think that like 9 to 5s can be living in your purpose for sure. Like I'm not telling everyone to go out and be an entrepreneur.
No.
Like I'm not saying everyone needs to go out and start their own business. Like it's, yeah, that's not at all what I'm saying. But like that nurse that I met that day, she said everything right. She was a beautiful soul. And she brought me a level of comfort that I needed so desperately, so much so that I went back about it because I lost my mind for a period of time, and I went back after I was losing my mind, and I tried to find her because I wanted to tell her the impact that she had on me, and I wanted to thank her. And like in some crazy poetic circle, I went back to that hospital and I said, hey, I know this is a long shot, but I need you to find this nurse for me because she really changed my life the day that my husband died, and I need to tell her that she really did a beautiful job at what she did that day. And she no longer worked there because she had to leave because her husband died of a massive heart attack.
Shut up.
Earlier that year. And she left to go, I think, be with her kids. I didn't really pry in her business. But I couldn't find her. So if you're listening to this, I would like to thank you. But yeah, it's yeah, isn't that wild though?
I want to help you find her.
I would love to find her. I don't know her name. I could not, but yeah, she worked at Woodstock Hospital, if that helps. And she was a beautiful soul. But anyway, yeah, she and I, but it was so crazy because I was like, God, I just want to tell this woman. But yeah, you meet people who you're just like, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
It's so obvious.
Yes, and if everyone could live in that, I think people would be less frustrated. They'd be less mad. They'd be less, grumpy because you're not trying to shove that like round peg into that, square hole anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're almost there. You almost got it. But you're just you're a little off.
But even after you end up living your purpose, there are days where you're still questioning it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to tell you that. And there have been plenty of those. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And I know you know that already.
Yeah.
It was funny because yesterday there was this moment where I freaked out for a second because I had just met someone and we were talking like deep real fast. And
You have that effect on people.
people just kind of open up, right? And then she started asking me questions, and she wanted to know, what was my path before this? And when I told her I was planning to move into principalship next before I made my pivot, she said, oh my gosh, you would have made a really good principal. Oh. And she said, I could see that. I can just tell you would have made a... And my heart sunk.
Did that make you sad?
I thought I was going to throw up. I was like, what if I made the wrong decision?
Really glad you didn't throw up on that one. That would have been a bad impression. But
yes. Yeah, because there was that moment of doubt, oh my gosh, did I make a mistake? Was that what I was supposed to do? Because this random person just told me that I would have been good at it, and she didn't know anything about me.
Yeah, but she was also, it's easy to say that. It's just like a passerby. Yeah. Like, I'm sure people were like, oh, Jessica, you were so good at insurance. Or like, you would have been great at that. And I'm like, yeah, but would you have been as happy?
Oh.
You would have been great at it. Don't get me wrong. You would have been a wonderful principal. You really would have. But do you think you would have been as happy?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And there's no way to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's okay not to know. Like, there's no way to know. But
the other part of it is, and I know Matthew told you my secret before the episode.
Told me a lot of your secrets.
That there are days where I just want to throw in the towel. Yeah. And I have just reached my limits.
What are those based in? Are those fear based? Are those because you're doing what you love hypothetically speaking.
Yeah.
But is it frustration with other things, or is it a scarcity mindset thing? Is it a scared thing? Where's that feeling
I need
come
to
from?
think of an exact example so that I can know like what the trigger was in that moment and see if there's a pattern here, because I haven't stopped to reflect on the cause of it, because it does happen every once in a while where I have always had this thing. I wanted to do Mike Rowe's Dirty Jobs. Did I tell you this before? But I wanted to like do a female version of it.
I'm sorry, what?
Mike Rowe's Dirty Jobs? Oh, do you not know this?
I don't know what
Oh, so I'm sure that sounds really funny to you.
This is weird.
Okay. So look it up. Dirty Jobs. Literally going and for a day, working someone else's job.
This is the guy that
but
would
the
like
dirty ones.
go and do like, he would be like I don't know. I feel bad saying anyone's job is dirty. I don't like this.
No, but there are jobs
but
that
like
are dirty.
that are inherently dirty.
Yeah.
Like a porta-john cleaner. Like that's a dirty job.
Yes.
Okay.
I love.
We're not demeaning that job at all. It's just a dirty job by nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always wanted to do that. I wanted a female version of that.
Who's
because
gonna do this?
What?
Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
Okay. So the reason I wanted to do that is because I have always wanted to experience everyone else's like thing for a day. Like I think it would be so cool to be you for a day and to do insurance for a day and to do this for a day and that for a day and just see other people's lives and what they have to know. And I think and that's why I love like working with the businesses that I do, because I know so many different types of business and industries now. It's so fun to go out on the floor in a manufacturing facility.
You are doing dirty jobs.
Yes, kind of.
Kind of.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I wish more of it. But anyway, okay, I wanted to do this to the point that my students wrote a letter to the Discovery Channel asking them if they would let me be on the show with Mike Rowe.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
That is adorable.
I didn't get to do it, though.
So anyone listening to this, if you have a stall to muck, I got your girl right here. I think that's what it's called. You have clean up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Dang.
You ran it all together. Staltamuck.
A stall to muck. Yeah, I knew what I meant.
So I'm saying that because everywhere I go, every single day, when I say I have empathy, we've talked before about how I feel other people's feelings. I cry their tears. It's a thing. I stop and I'm sitting in a restaurant. What would it be like to be my waitress right now? Like, what is that experience like for them? What would it be like to do this? What would it be like to do that? And I will often say when we're out and about, sometimes I should just quit this thing. It would be so much easier to just go work right here, right where we are right now. Mm-hmm. I just want to go Sheets. That was the example Matt gave you. I just want to go to Sheets.
Just be the Sheets.
And maybe I get some free food and I would have a guaranteed paycheck and I would still get to work with humans and I could provide some teachable moments throughout the day, and whether they wanted them or not.
The best darn Sheets worker in the world, you would. Employee of the month.
I was really good at McDonald's too.
I bet you were.
I'm just gonna say that.
I bet you were.
That I think is the thing where in my mind it would be so much easier to not wear all the hats, to feel like, okay, I'm serving on 3 boards. I'm the co-chair of the ambassador group for the chamber. I'm trying to run a business. I'm doing a weekly podcast. I'm this, that, and that. And I'm still trying to run a household and, take care of him. And
it's hard.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And so I throw my hands up in the air, and it could be a moment where someone's not treating me very well. Not appreciative
of you don't see all the work that I am doing, and here you are saying that I need to do more or different because you don't see that I'm wearing 57,000 hats.
Yes.
So what stops you from throwing it in and going dirty jobs?
Do you hear the laughter out there?
What stops you? What stops you from cleaning porta-johns, Miss Ma'am?
I have tried to weave that in, by the way, and I'll tell you that in a minute. I think what stops me is the fact that I feel like there is a gap that needs to be filled by someone who is as passionate about lifelong learning and leadership and growing humans in the way that I'm passionate about it. And if I were to leave, then there's going to be a little gap there.
No one's going to do it like you.
Well, I don't know. They could. I'm easily replaced.
They won't. Oh, stop it. You are not easily replaced. Nobody has your heart. You have a big heart. And it's that level of empathy that makes you good at it. No, and not every day is easy. And that's the thing is like, you know, I like to believe that I'm also good at my job, and I like to believe that I also make an impact on people. Mm-hmm. But I'm also incredibly fragile. Mm-hmm. Like I'm very empathetic. I feel a lot of feelings. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Mm-hmm. So if someone comes in and oh my God, or a member leaves, at baseline. Oh my God, a member leaves. And it is like they ripped my heart from my chest and stomped on it. And I take it and it makes me want to quit my job. Yeah. It does. I can't. And it hurts my heart in a way that I can't explain, because I feel like my sole purpose and my impact on this world and what I'm supposed to be doing is helping you, and I didn't get to help you.
And it wasn't enough.
And it wasn't enough. And I think that's what's really hard that we don't talk about living in your purpose, is that it feels like your life's purpose. And and it's not going to work every time. Yeah. And that's the pill that I have a hard time swallowing.
It's not going to resonate with everyone.
It makes me ill actually thinking about it right now, if I can be honest. Like it makes me anxious. Yeah, I need the can. I need to kick the can. But it makes me really anxious thinking about it, because it's like not everyone is going to receive it. Mm-hmm. And also not everyone wants it. Mm-hmm. There's going to be people out there, like I'll say sometimes at the gym, we're for anyone, but not everyone. Yeah. Anyone who wants to be here can be here, but not everyone wants to. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. And just but when it's so personal and, you know, maybe someone wasn't so nice to you, or someone doesn't get maybe exactly what you were trying to teach them. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it's so much harder than if I just, you know, didn't do something right at sheets. You know, that I think, because it takes that personal part out of it a little bit, where there, you know, it's not transactional. It's transactional. Yeah. It's not. It's no longer transactional. It's heart and it's soul, and I'm in here. This is dirty jobs, my friend.
It is dirty jobs. It is. So this is an idea that I've had. I'm putting this out there, and someone's going to take it and run with it. Okay. And I'm going to be mad at them for it, but it's fine. Yeah. I have really enjoyed some of the organizations that I work with, helping them to see their onboarding process from a different perspective, because I want them to set up their new employee for success, right? And there are so many times that people are not set up for success. They come in, their first 2 weeks are sitting behind a computer. No one talks to them. No one, you know what I mean?
You don't get any culture. You don't get any love. You don't get any friendship.
And it's boring.
Boring.
And they don't even know what's expected. It's all the things, right?
And it's bad.
Yes.
You want a good onboarding process, go to TWG Insurance, by the way. Great onboarding process.
We've talked about that. Yeah. Mark showed me before, and I was very impressed.
We'll love you aggressively.
Maybe not as much without Jess. I'm just being honest. There's a level of love that you would have gotten that would have been different.
Do love people aggressively.
So I thought it would be the coolest thing if, now I'm taking another TV show. You know Undercover Boss, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to merge Micro's Dirty Jobs with Undercover Boss, and I would go in as a new employee and live out someone's onboarding process.
At one of these?
At anywhere, whatever, right? Yeah. And then at the end of it, I would give them feedback on their process and help them to fix the process so in the future it's more effective and they can retain employees. That would require me to basically work for a company for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Undercover.
Seems very doable.
Take it all in.
With a full TV. Is this on TV?
Oh, it doesn't need to be filmed. It doesn't need to be filmed.
But I'm open to it.
I mean, I haven't figured out how I'm going to get paid yet. I'm going to have to pay the bills.
Well, do you get that first 2 weeks of pay from that job?
I guess, but what if it's not enough to live on?
Oh, yeah, they don't, and what if they, like, don't want to pay you because it's not, like, real, like you're leaving? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they might get mad at me because I've only worked 2 weeks and
And
then
are
I
you-
leave them.
Yeah, are you toying with people's emotions at this point?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, undercover boss might toy with emotions, but at the end they give people big checks and they do all these
Oh.
nice things for them, and they're like, "I saw like what you're going through, and I'm going to help you now."
I bet there's a lot of people that would actually want that to happen at their job. But I mean, a lot of things they have a hard. So say you identify these issues. How many places do you think actually have the power to change any of these issues?
I think every place.
What? Who? How? I don't know. I think some things, like if I am working at a chain restaurant, I think that the higher command comes from somewhere else, and that the onboarding and the things and the culture are so systemic at that point that
You don't think that I'm going to go to the top?
Okay, never mind. Yeah, I do think you're gonna go to the top.
That's where the debrief is happening.
Oh, okay. You're talking. Okay, yeah. No, this is a TV show.
Okay, well,
Someone
there we
picked that
go.
up.
Yeah.
Now we're on the telly.
Anyway, all of that to say, we went so down a rabbit hole. There was a purpose there.
Yeah.
And that is to explain that the reason I want to throw in the towel sometimes is because I feel like I'm missing out on some of those things, and that those things could be easier for me.
Right.
And I'm doing the hard thing.
You are
like
doing
a
the
really
hard
hard thing.
You are doing the hard thing.
And the financial piece of it, you're going to have the highs and lows of that. And I think I might have shared on a previous episode that it was only this time last year, where I literally had a negative balance in all of my accounts and didn't know if I was going to be able to drive home.
Money is scary.
Yeah.
It is. And I think that especially for people that have a family to support, money is terrifying.
Yeah.
Or, and I think it's a huge driver, because a lot of people, if you ask them why they're doing their job, I don't know. I don't want to put 90% on it because that's a sad number. But I bet a lot of people are doing it for the money and not because they love it.
Yeah. But even when I reached that point, why did I keep going?
Yeah.
Because I loved it.
Right.
And because it can literally change in a moment, right?
Yes.
That was one day. The next day something happened.
And it's
pulled me right out of it. I'm like, whoop, dodge that bullet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right.
On to the next one. Luckily, very few bullets since then.
But isn't it nice, like, in that sense, like, that's what keeps me going when things get hard. Because things do get hard, but it's that none of this is permanent. Like, and if you just wait 5 minutes, give it a little time, the winds will shift.
Yeah.
You just have to give it time. And I think staying steadfast and staying on point during those moments where maybe it's a little murky and it's a little scary is where it's made. Because it's easy to throw in the towel when it's murky and it's scary, and no one would blame you. And that's the thing too, is everyone's like, oh, I get it, you gave it the old college try, good job.
Oh my gosh, I've thought about that many times. If I were to close my business, if I were to do that, what would people's response be?
I can tell you what mine would be.
Okay.
It would be like a mix of like sadness, because I would assume that something was really wrong with you. I'd be like, oh wow, like she's terminal, like something's wrong. I would be like, something's really bad for her to stop. And like, if you came to me, no joke, and said, hey Jess, I quit my job as Sierra Leadership and I'm going to start working at Sheetz, I'd be like, oh, wow. Okay, here's my therapist. We're going to go together, because I would assume something happened to you. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would feel like I failed. That would be my problem. I am literally, I'm saying this out loud. I am going to have to do this the rest of my life because I will feel as if I failed.
I don't see that.
Oh, my gosh.
See, I think Jared sees that. I think Jared thinks that way. I would.
Well, keep in mind that just a few months ago, you also didn't realize that you were supposed to be doing this full time. So
listen,
next week.
I would like to say that my growth as a person is ever changing.
Yes.
I do reserve the right to change my mind on any given topic at any given time.
Yes.
So I could be dead wrong about this, but I wouldn't see it as, I would worry about you, but I wouldn't see you as a failure ever. I wouldn't see you as a failure, but I would be concerned about your well-being.
As one.
No, well, that's all that matters, honestly.
I mean, truthfully.
She said, I don't care what you think I am a failure. Thank you, bye.
I want to go back to the word courage.
Yeah.
And I'm going to share something without your permission because I know it's okay.
Okay.
When you were there was a hard swallow. You just swallowed hard.
Well, I'm afraid of you.
Shut up.
Why
are you afraid of me?
Because I don't know what you're about to say. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Hit me with your best shot.
You were about to move into a leadership role when we spoke a while back.
Yeah.
And you were scared.
Oh, yeah.
And it took a lot of courage for you. And the reason I'm saying this is because we're talking about a lot of purpose-driven moves here. But just leadership in general. Some people might just be terrified to step into that leadership role.
Should be. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yes,
that's exactly where I was going with this.
No, I'm sorry. They should hire you and then they won't be scared anymore. That's what I meant to say.
Thanks. No, what I want people to understand is this doesn't have to be a shift. Maybe they're already living in their purpose, but they're afraid to take it to the next level in the organization that they're in. They're afraid to take on that leadership role.
Yeah.
Like you were.
I was terrified.
Yeah.
And it's really, so leadership, and you'll be able to talk more about this in a better way than I can even. It's a skill, like any other skill, that you can develop and you can hone and you can work on. And honestly, I think that a large part because of you and the work that we've done together, because I took your class and we worked a lot together, is that I'm actually a pretty good leader in the sense that I know.
Wait, what?
I know.
Hold on, say it again. Say it again.
I
A
won't
little
say it
louder
again.
so everybody can hear.
You got it recorded once. You can play it back. I'm actually a pretty good leader.
She's a great leader.
I am decent, but it's also not every leadership style has to be the same. And I think that that's what I leaned into when I did decide to make the first jump into leadership. Is I was like, I was afraid that I wasn't going to be a good leader because I did not look like any other leader in the business. I did not lead like anybody else in that company. And I was like, does that make me a bad leader? Like, I don't think I'm going to be good at this. This is really scary. But then I realized, okay, with a lot of work on myself, is that what is one of my gifts? To love people. What is leadership? If not, for me, loving people.
That's servant leadership.
That is all that I am. And that's what I do. And then once I discovered that about myself, and I was like, oh my God, I am actually really good at this because I can love people. And
it's the same realization of I had always been a leader when I was just a teacher.
Yeah.
You had always been leading. You just didn't have the title.
Right. And I didn't know it. There's a lot of things going on in my life that I don't know about. I think that's really concerning and we should talk about that at baseline. But outside of that, like, I just think, being whatever type of leader you are, which is something that you teach about, something that you talk about, is being, it doesn't have to be cut and dry. It doesn't have to be do what I say. And that's what I was afraid of too. I think that's what made me so scared is because I didn't want to be a hard butt. I didn't want to be a jerk. I didn't want to tell people what to do. It's the same reason that I have funny feelings about the word owner as my business. I have funny feelings about it. I don't want to say owner next to my title.
I changed mine, by the way. I recently got new name tags. Oh, and then this. Yeah,
it's
we
beautiful.
talked about this. So she's wearing, if you're listening, she's wearing a 540 Fitness sweatshirt, which is beautiful, and I am wearing my branded jacket. I don't know, quarter zip.
Did we collaborate this before we got here? You're darn right
yes,
we did.
We did. Where was I going?
We were talking about, I don't know where you were going, but we can bring it back to whatever you want. We were
talking about title change.
Oh,
yeah.
Title change. Whew, man.
We went somewhere else.
At least once per episode, it's like, boom.
Title change.
Okay.
You got new name tags.
I got new name tags. I went like this and got distracted. And it's CGO, Chief Growth Officer.
I love
Do
that.
you like it?
See, and I just think that that's really nice because, yeah, you are a chief growth officer. I think that that's beautiful.
Nailed
What made
it.
you
It's
come
so
up with
much
that?
better than owner. I don't know. Just came to me in my sleep one night.
Good. Very good.
Sleeping in showers. Like,
That's where all the best ideas happen. I think that that's really good.
yes, that's where my next conference is coming from, is from the shower.
Oh.
It just, every new idea for the conference is happening in the shower right now.
Do you have a shower whiteboard? Have you ever seen those?
No.
Yeah, I know what I'm getting you for Christmas. It's a whiteboard that you put on your shower wall, like not on the side that the water is, obviously, and then you can write on it while you have shower ideas.
I'm going to create so much gold in the shower
I know.
now.
Yeah.
Because I never have an outlet to
Yes.
like place
get it out
somewhere.
Yeah, you put it on your whiteboard and then afterwards you write it all down. Isn't that genius? But yeah, so your conferences, so you just got back. That's why I couldn't talk to you about my big life changes, because you were
I was
gone.
inaccessible.
Yeah, you were gone changing lives in the best way.
Yeah,
So
2.5 days of that, by the way, and I went into that a little scared, I'm not going to lie, because I get tired easily. My body cannot handle what it used to. And I think I've shared plenty of times on the podcast that I specifically schedule clients in the mornings because the afternoons are very hard for my energy levels.
and this was your first conference.
This was the first one
Yes.
that I had done.
Yes.
And this was going to be 2.5 days of straight Sierra action, right? And I knew that would be exhausting.
2.5 days of straight Sierra action. If that's not your selling point, then I don't really know what is, to be quite honest. Because that is action-packed Sierra leadership. Dun, dun, dun. So I'm a person who, I am someone who is looking to really round out my wheel of life. I'm having a hard time, filling up all my buckets, and I'm feeling a little off kilter. I'm feeling really burnt out in a couple aspects. And I see your ad online that you're doing a retreat. I sign up for your retreat. What happens to me there?
Oh, so many things happen to
Besides all that Sierra action, what else happens to me?
So much Sierra action. Well, it's quite the experience. It's one I'm very proud of.
Yeah, you should be. You should be very proud.
I'm not often as proud of things as I am with this one. Usually I'm very critical of myself and, very critical. And that's why I don't listen back to any of these episodes because, oh no.
You're not going to want to see that Venn diagram again?
Oh no.
Because I am.
Oh. By the way, if you're wondering what I did for the Venn diagram,
Just go watch it.
I didn't have enough hands, so I used my mouth as the third circle.
It was beautiful. Okay,
So day one, you come in and you are ready to figure out what in the world's about to happen, and you know that you're with me, so you have to set clear intentions. And so, by the way, I made people send me intentions prior to the retreat.
Okay, real quick. Sorry, pause.
Yeah.
What's an example of an intention? Like if I
one of my people said, my intention is to get the tools and strategies that I need to make next year more intentional.
Okay.
Cool. That might be an intention for the weekend. Okay. Some it was to get away and be able to work on the business instead of in the business. Maybe
work on the business instead of in the business. That's nice. Okay.
Some it was the balance of I just need to get away, like truly the retreat part of it. But also I had a lot happen in the past year in my life. I've lost some humans. I need a good reset and be able to really reassess my life and figure out what I want to do with it.
So if you're someone who kind of felt like you were out of control in your life, like you felt like your life was running you instead of you running your life, this would be a great person to go.
Great fit. Okay, so basically day one, the whole morning is a session with me where I am helping people to kind of go through the process that I believe you need to go through before you ever set a goal. And people that know me well know that it includes core values, it includes purpose statements, and so on. I'm not going to give it all up, right?
Oh, yeah.
But
You got to go to the retreat.
the difference is typically in these workshops, people don't have a lot of time to work on the things. They know what to do and they walk away with it not done, and they have to do it later, right?
Okay.
At the retreat, they actually have time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So they can ask questions.
They have quiet time.
Yes.
They have reflection time.
Yes.
They can really, they have sounding boards. They can really get to know themselves.
Yeah, it's great. So that's the morning. After lunch is breakout sessions. During the breakout sessions, some people are meeting one-on-one with me. Some people are choosing to dig deeper into the content from the day. So some might be still working on their purpose statement because that takes a lot of work, right? Mm-hmm. Some might be going for a hike, might be going to the spa, might go to the casino and try and make some money, right? Or a nap, whatever it is, whatever you need at that time. I have them set clear intentions for the breakout. One of the breakout sessions, we did yoga.
I love that.
By the lake. It was wonderful.
That sounds beautiful. That sounds
really
nice.
was. I don't do yoga. I can't slow down enough to do yoga.
But you did.
But I did it.
Yeah. And how'd you feel?
It was great.
Good.
It was great. So the afternoon is like that. Breakout, come back together, breakout, come back together kind of deal. And then a closing session at the end of the day.
Cool.
Okay. Day 2 is really the same structure with content in the morning. We're still working on setting a vision for the new year. What will that look like for us as we go through the steps together? Lunch, then the afternoon breakout sessions. And then day 3 is when they get their full focus planners and they learn how to take all of their goals that they're setting for the new year, their vision for success, right? And they learn the system that they're going to use in order to help them reach those goals.
I love that.
So the full focus planner is a quarterly planner. So we're literally only looking at, here are your annual goals, but we're looking at the first quarter of the year. What are the things we're focusing on first? The steps we need to take, habits we need to create for ourselves.
Because we don't want to be so overwhelmed by the big picture that, you see step 72 and you just assume that you can never get there. Well, you just got to take step 1.
Yes.
That's how it starts.
I think a lot of people skip step 1 and try, you know what I mean? They try to jump ahead, and that's the problem is...
Well, because do you know why that is?
Tell me
why. I think it is anyway, and I don't know anything about anything.
Because I have a different idea. I know mine's
you
different.
don't know if it's different.
Yeah, go
It
ahead.
could be the same. We have the same brain. I think that step 1 is so attractive, like unattractive and unsexy. Like step 1, okay, someone comes to me and they say, "Hey, Jess, I want to lose weight," and I'm a nutrition coach. And they come to me and they say, "Hey, I'd really like to drop 15 pounds." Step 1 for me when I'm talking to them is, okay, let's look about getting a little bit more vegetables into your diet. That can be a really good step 1 for me. Well, I don't want to do that. I told you I want to lose weight. Why are you making me eat more? Like, I don't get it. And I'm like, listen, we're gonna one, I want sustainable habits.
Yeah.
Because they want the sexy answer, which is like, oh, great, we're just going to strip everything down. We're going to do 75 hard. You're never going to have candy again, and we're just going to hit it hard. Yeah. That's sexy, and that's fun, and that's like, woo, and it sounds cool. But that's not sustainable. Right. That I'm not building good habits. I'm not doing anything that's actually going to help you long term. Guess what? You're going to grow to resent me. You're going to resent the process, and you're probably going to gain more weight on the back end than you came in with.
Yeah.
So
you're exactly right.
I did absolutely nothing to help you. So step 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and probably all the way up to step like at least 26 is extremely not fun. It's little things that I just want to make sure that we have a very firm understanding of and why we're doing this. And I want to set people up for long-term success, not just like a kid, like, nothing sends me to the moon more than like a 21-day fix. You want to see me go like utterly bionic? I'm like, your life is so much longer than 21 days.
Yeah.
This is your entire life, and you think you're going to do a 21-day fix,
Yeah.
and suddenly we're just going to be, I just don't get it. No, we need to work at our core with what is going on. Why do we feel this way about food? Why do we feel this way about exercise? Like, we've got to really take a couple steps back. So anyway, that's why I think most people skip the first steps, is because it's not cool.
I actually agree with you.
Oh, she thought she had me.
I did.
But yeah.
No, I think you're exactly right. And you know how many people, when they're setting goals, a lot of them are health-related goals. And I will tell you that they will say something like, okay, I am going to exercise 3 days a week. Okay. Okay.
Great.
What does that look like?
Mm-hmm. And are you
what
going
is
from
feasible?
Sorry.
No, I was going to say, what's feasible for you, truly?
Yes.
Because exercise, to me, as long as you're focused on your body, that 30 minutes more than you were before. If you're sitting and stretching for 30 minutes, you're focused on your body, right?
Yes.
But the problem is, I often see that they'll say, okay, but I was having trouble getting out of bed in the morning, so I didn't do it. Okay, could we lay out your clothes the night before? You know what I mean? Like, what are the things that we can do? What are going to be the challenges in the moment? Yeah. And how can we be proactive in preventing that from even becoming a challenge?
Right.
So when I dig down into the goals, we go deep because I want to make sure we've thought through any kind of challenges that might pop up.
I love
and
that.
Let's just go ahead and work through them.
Yeah. Basically, what you just said is, hey, I know you're going to have some excuses.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get them out right now, because I'm going to debunk all of your excuses. This way, when that excuse
That's
comes
what's happening
up.
in my brain. I just say it a lot nicer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying what it is. But I like it. And that's good because, excuses come up when people have a fear, I think, of what's on the other side of that excuse because they've never actually tried. And I think people are really afraid of trying something, and then what if it doesn't work? And then that just means that I am fundamentally broken as a human and I'm a failure. So say I really take a chance on myself and I go to Sierra's retreat and I find out that I don't have a purpose and there's nothing there for me. Well, that's not going to happen.
Oh
but
my
that's
gosh.
scary.
Yes.
That's a fear.
Just that right there. I have had so many people say, I don't think I have a purpose. Like I really don't know that we should even go through this process or I've tried to, figure out my purpose in the past and it didn't work. So like we'll just skip that step. I know that's step 2 in your process, Sierra. We're just going to skip that one. And then I'll say, well, I'm sorry, but all the rest of them are built off of your values and your purpose. So without that, we're not going to know if you're in alignment. And so all of these other things, like the key motivation is going to be missing because you don't know your purpose yet.
Yeah. Right.
And so when obstacles come up in your goal, you're going to give up and abandon the goal because you don't have this driver back here of it's in alignment with my purpose and my values.
Or when obstacles come up in your life.
Yeah.
When things happen, do you know how often I have to look at myself, especially now that I represent a business, which is just bonkers, that when things come up, I have to really reflect on who I am as a person and say, okay, now you're not the absolute lunatic you were 10 years ago, and I was an absolute lunatic. So you really have to reflect on who this person is and who you're and what my core values are, and then react according to those core values and not like the absolute Neanderthal I want to be.
And not just say the values because they sound good.
No.
Or because you saw them on someone else's website.
You have to mean it.
But you actually have to turn them into action.
One of my core values is to be authentic. That one of my core values is authentic. Like I don't want to just show up in a way that's like, oh, she seems happy, she seems healthy. No, I want to genuinely be happy and healthy.
People know when you're not being genuine.
Right. I think at this point you would have figured it out.
Yeah.
You would have dug it out by now, one would think. But yeah, you have to mean it in your soul. And I think that's the great thing about going on like a retreat and getting away from all the noise and the responsibilities and the other reasons that you have to not do these things is to really think like, okay, when I'm not being mom and when I'm not being wife and when I'm not being boss and I'm not being dad and I'm not being, all of these things, who am I?
Yeah. that's the identity part of the wheel of life. And I make people think about that. And that's always a very hard part is like, I define for them, here's your wheel, right? And we're going to break it into these categories. And then I get to identity and I'm like, well, that's unique to you. So you're going to have to come up with that one. What are your identities,
I
right?
can't tell you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking about something, and that is the fact that with my breakout sessions, I want to incorporate more and more options for people. And you're being voluntold to be a part of future retreats.
Let's get physical.
Yes. Yes.
When it really helps
How
people.
mobile are you?
I'm pretty mobile. I can do the splits. Is that not what you meant? You don't mean my mobility? What do you mean? Oh, can I move my my
Can you bring your equipment to the retreat?
Oh, can I bring
Anything like what is possible? What is that is I can do the splits. I've actually seen that on my social media.
Yeah, I can do the splits.
And a cheerleading outfit.
Yeah, I meant it.
That's my question is like, and I know that you will come up with wonderful ideas, but think about what a session with you would look like. They have 45 minutes with you. What would you do with
Kettlebells are
them?
very mobile. I can move kettlebells for sure. Yeah, kettlebells, dumbbells, those are very mobile. Barbells are a little harder to move, but barbells are so fun, but they're a little harder to move.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, how great would that be?
Yeah.
Because I think, moving meditation too. Get people out of their mind and into their body.
Yeah. I didn't tell you this. So on the first day, you know how you have to like give out some cool swag and stuff at retreats and conferences.
I did not know that.
Oh, okay. Well, you need to know that now.
Dang. All right, swag. Okay, good reason.
I made these little digital detox kits because I really wanted them to like break away from their devices, like put your do not disturb on.
Yes.
I don't want to see your phone. I don't want to see your computer. You are just here and you are in the moment. So when you said that, it made me think of it like the whole meditation thing.
Yes.
Just really being able to pull away and think about who you are and what you want in your life and how many little boxes you
I'm
might
not
have
saying that like these things went like directly hand in hand, but it is kind of an odd coincidence that I was working with my therapist because I love being coached. Okay.
Yeah.
I love having coaches. And my therapist is my coach. So I was talking to my therapist and my therapist and I worked up a plan where I was only going to be on my social medias for 15 minutes a day.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
And that was enough for me to get on, post what I needed to post for the business, check to make sure all my friends' babies are still cute, and then go about my day. Because that's really all I needed to do.
Yeah.
Right. So, and it was, this thing started about 2 weeks before I made the big plunge into, and I'm not saying that those two things have a direct correlation. However, in the time that I was not drowning my brain on social media with all of the noise and all the BS, and I'm not saying great things don't happen on social media because they do. There are wonderful things that happen on there too. However, I think it's in bite-sized portions, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day. I do not think that it needs to be a constant onslaught of what other people are doing and other things to distract us.
Yes.
It's a distraction from what we are not doing. It is a distraction. We're able to look at what other people are doing. Do you know what else I got done in that time?
What?
I journaled. I meditated. I thought about what I'm doing with myself. I was able to really align myself with my purpose. I read books. I went on walks. I did things with that time, and I put a timer on it. So, because it was not up to me to decide what 15 minutes was, because I can't trust my own judgment. I'm an idiot. So, I mean, but I put a timer on it, and then in that time that I was not doing that, and anytime I went to go pick up my phone, and I was like, no, I don't need it. I'm going to go do this other thing because I have this abundance of free time that I'm not watching other people. So anyway, there is a big thing in a digital detox where it's not, I'm not going to say it's like bad, like, cause I don't look at anything bad on social media. I don't. I look at like funny puppy videos and I look at like recipes and that's really about it. But it is a distraction.
It is.
It distracts you from anything going on in your brain. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's beautiful. I think that's really good.
And I think it really worked because, well, the people that came want to do it again next November. They took it
Yeah.
upon themselves to just throw that out there and say, I want to do this every November. So that's cool. And I was sharing with you earlier, people didn't wait to make the changes in the new year.
They did
They
it.
were so excited and motivated by it that they
did.
started the next day.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting.
Well, yeah, because when you're excited about the rest of your life, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as
now.
possible.
Yeah. Why
You
would you
know?
wait?
Why would you wait? Why would you wait to do something so, that you love? Why would you
Yeah.
wait?
Oh,
But-
that's like the theme here. Why are you waiting?
Yes. Why
Ask
are you
yourself,
waiting?
why are you waiting? Are you doing what you love?
Mm-hmm.
Are you leaning into your strengths? Are you having the impact that you want to have? See
Yes.
that overlap?
I
you
saw
li-
that overlap.
See that overlap? Are you living in your purpose?
Right.
I just love talking to you.
I love you. You light me up, friend. I'm glad that you do this job. I'm glad that you made the plunge, and I'm glad that you did it afraid, and I'm glad
Yeah.
that you didn't turn back, and I'm glad you burnt the ships and you went all in, because you
Yeah.
are a gift to other people. You really provide a lot to others, and you lift up the community as a whole.
Everything that you just said is true of you. You know that, right? Literally, everything you just said is true of you.
I hope. We try, at least.
Hope is not a strategy.
Oh my God. Okay. Hope is, listen, it's my only strategy, sister. Hope is not a strategy. But yeah, no, thank you. And thank you for the opportunity to talk about it and to work through it together. And I do hope that people listen and take something from it and hear that, it's okay to be afraid, but it's not okay to not try for that reason.
Yeah.
And being afraid is not a good enough reason.
If you're stuck and you need to talk to someone about it, reach out to us.
You know people.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't have all
Let
the
us
answers,
know.
but we at least try.
Yeah, I always want people to understand, it goes back to authenticity. Behind the scenes with social media, everybody's posting
The highlight reel.
the highlights of their life. That the tough stuff is still going on behind the scenes, and no one's saying that it's going to be super easy.
Girlfriend, I cry all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too. In the shower
I
where no
cry
one
a
can
lot.
see it.
Yeah. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. We're just people. We're just people doing the best we can.
So what is your piece of advice for folks listening, whether living in their purpose currently or not? I want this message to go out to every listener.
Ooh, I think that, my word of advice would be different for people that are listening to this and they feel that they're not living in their purpose. It would be a little different. So if you feel like you're not living in your purpose and you're listening to this and you're saying, I feel like I'm close, but I'm just frustrated and I'm just not quite there, make an effort. Try. Like you said earlier, just try something. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. And if it doesn't work, guess what? Pivot. Try again. Do something else. And you can keep trying as many times as it takes. There's no limit on how many times you can try.
Yeah.
And that is okay. And it's not a failure. It's never a failure. It's an attempt. And the only time that you fail is when you stop trying. That is when you've given up completely and you've decided, you know what? I'm just never going to find it. I'm never going to have that. That's great for Sierra and Jess. And I'm so glad that they're so stupid happy doing what they're doing, but I'm never going to be happy. Well, you know what? You can. You really can. You just have to try and you have to work at it. And you have to go on a retreat. You have to go to the gym. You have to really maybe try something that's outside of your comfort zone.
Yes.
And
and be willing to start from working from the ground up. Like the person that I was speaking to the other day it mirrors. I was in education 10 years and switched, right? She was in marketing 10 years and switching. Unpaid internship.
Yes.
You know what I mean? She just wanting to be in the environment, absorb what she can, and see how it feels. No one says that you have to leave your job behind and all sources of income, but find time. Create your schedule in a way that allows you to focus on your priorities. not scrolling through Facebook.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Do something for yourself that your future self is going to thank you for later.
Yes.
Like look back and say, I did not waste those days on that invisible calendar. I did not waste them. I actually worked on them. And if you're like, hey, I'm living in my purpose, I would tell you to not be afraid. And that would be my advice to you is, go forward, align yourself with your core values, and every decision that you make from here on out, really take a second to check in and say, is this who I am? Is this the person I want to be? Is this who I want to be in the community? And if the answer is yes, even if it doesn't look like the right answer, do it. Do it. Make the choice. Go for it. I mean, if you think you found your purpose, burn the ships. Just go for it.
I love that tattoo, by the way.
Thank you.
I
do
have
too.
so much respect for that tattoo.
Yeah. It's vicious, isn't it?
It's amazing.
And really, I had to live up to it.
Yeah.
So I did.
Yeah.
I burned the ships, and stay tuned because whatever happens next,
Oh, we're going to need updates. So I hope that you have time to come back again.
I will always have
'Cause-
time for you, my friend.
Thank you. I did share a fear with her earlier, friends, that her fitness center is going to grow so big, she's not going to have space for me, is what I said is going to happen. And just so you know, she's willing to bump you. She told me that. She said she'd bump you. So whoever's listening.
No one needs bump. There's room for all of you. We have a 7,000
so
square
much
foot
space.
facility. There's room for all of you. And trust me, there's room in my heart for all of you. And that's what's most important.
I know that. Okay. Let's remind them where to find you.
Yes.
So they can get involved, so they can see everything. You know what we didn't even mention is that, someone even reached out to you. You met with them and had coffee after episode 10, and now
Yes.
you're their nutrition coach,
Yes.
I believe.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
so
There
people
are plenty of
listening
ways
might,
to connect
yes,
with me.
Yes.
You honestly, if you are listening to this and you just reach out to me and you say, "Hey, I want to talk and I want to have coffee," I did that. I do that because
she didn't murder you.
And no, I didn't get axe murdered or anything. I really appreciated that about her. If you're an axe murderer, please don't ask me for coffee. But if you're not gonna axe murder me, I will meet any of you for coffee. Just send me a message. You can find me on the socials. Our business website is 540-fitness.com, and you can find us there. You can send us a message. You can come by and try a class. I will be there coaching all the time.
Yes.
So-
Cannot wait to be in the area and experience it more often, because I absolutely loved it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And I just thought it was the coolest thing that, like, your mother-in-law, like, to be there with family, with literal family, and have that level of support too,
Yeah.
is so cool.
If I wouldn't have my mom do it, why should anyone else do it?
Yeah.
Like, if I don't recommend it to my own family,
Mm-hmm.
then why would anyone trust me?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think it's a good exercise for anybody, no matter where you are in your journey, where you are in your experience level. We will meet you where you are and get you where you want to go.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you,
You're
friend.
amazing. Great message today. All right. So thank you so much for joining us for this episode. I know that you love Jess, and we'll welcome her back again sometime. I love her equally. If you found value in this episode, please share it with your friends. We hope to hear from you. If you are working on identifying your purpose, we want to know about it. Feel free to send us your Venn diagram.
Please.
Or your 3-column chart. No, in all seriousness, we hope that you are able to find your true purpose and live in that every single day. And if you have found it and it's a matter of stepping into that next role, maybe it is moving into a leadership position and you need the courage to do so, consider this a message to you. Just go ahead and go for it, and surround yourself with people that are there to support you and cheer you on. So thanks again for joining us. Remember, a new episode drops every Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. We'd love for you to subscribe so you get notifications. And I hope to see you guys actually in the area at 540 Fitness soon. It's worth traveling to, even if you're outside of the area. I will mention that. All right, and until next time, keep branching out.